Everything you're about to hear is for entertainment purposes only. Listen, have some fun, but don't ever do, believe, or promote anything they say. They're idiots.
Guys, hold up. You should know, this ain't for everybody. Welcome to Savagely Loud. What's happening, people? Guys, welcome back to the show for the people that understand that facts divided by feelings equals failure. I'm Cliff, I'm your host, and today we're going to talk about the Black Pill psyop with my co-host Dave that's joining me today and always. But before we get to that, if you want to help me out, get these words out, get these truths out, you can follow me on Instagram. That's where I'm most active. At Savagely Loud is where you'll find me. On that page, you're going to find two links. One of those links is to the Savagely Loud podcast page. If you could please follow me there too, that would be greatly appreciated. The other link you're going to find is a simple link tree. Anywhere you want to hear my bullshit or see my rants, you can find it there, easy peasy. Outside of that, Facebook, X, and Rumble at Savagely Loud, YouTube at Savagely Loud Podcast, and last but not least, you can email me in at savagelyloud@gmail.com. Don't forget to like, comment, and share the material, guys. And please, for all the wonderful things out there that you hold dear, please don't forget to rate and review the show. It does help us an incredible amount. So please, that's all we ever ask from you is just rate and review the show, share out the shit, and enjoy the rest of it. So, Dave, how we doing today? Big Dave, they understand the Viking is back.
I'm doing good, my man.
Let everybody know where they can find you, brother.
All right, man. Y'all can find me over there on social media. I'm heavily active on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube now. A little bit on TikTok still at the Hammer Drops. In the bio over there on Facebook and Instagram, you'll find two links. One to the website, thehammerdrops.com, and the other will be a link tree where you can find all my rants, my shit all over the internet, and where you can also listen to my podcast. And while you're over on YouTube watching this show, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. While you're watching, leave a comment, share the fucking video, help us break the algorithms for the show so we can get these truths out to more and more people.
Yes, sir. And since you brought up YouTube and social media, I want to address a couple of things. Okay, so when it comes to YouTube, I'm going to be getting a little bit more active on YouTube. You'll see me putting a short up every day. I'm going to be putting a short up. Working with a friend of mine who knows his shit, and a friend of ours now that knows his shit. Yes. And we're going to try to get the YouTube channel going a lot better than it is. So really, it does matter. If you could please subscribe to the YouTube channel. It might not be the most amazing thing you're going to run across on the internet right now, but eventually it will be. And also, Rumble. Let's talk about Rumble, because Rumble fucking sucks again. I don't know what's going on with Rumble. But I've got 88 followers on Rumble, and I've gotten a handful of people asking me why I don't post on Rumble anymore. It's not that I refuse to post on Rumble. I don't know what the fuck is going on with Rumble. I'm not the only one this happens to, because I've spoken to a lot of people. Every time I go on Rumble and I try to post my video, I open the app, I go into create, it gives me the screen where I pick my video, and I could do it 100 fucking times in a row. I pick the video and it closes the app. I'm just done until Rumble unfucks itself, until Rumble actually does something for creators, because they don't. Like, that's where I'm at now. And maybe one day, who knows, I might have an exclusive deal just to have this show on Rumble. But as it stands right now, Rumble does not treat me well, and it does not treat creators well, because it doesn't do anything to push the fucking content out. It doesn't do anything to grow your page. It's just like, here, I have this site, you can put your stuff up and hopefully somebody sees it. Even Instagram and Facebook do a better fucking job than that. Even TikTok, of all places, does a better job than that. You can't, and the reason I say this stuff with such animosity is because I'm tired of hearing about how Rumble is supposed to be the new replacement for all these fucking things, and they don't do a fucking thing for the creators that try to create on their channel.
I'm sorry, Rumble sucks. I fucking hate it. I have a Rumble channel too, and I stopped uploading there because of the same problem. Like, there's no traction, there's no nothing. Unless they're paying you like, some other shows are, because they're going to spin, and here's the problem, because we call it from both sides. As long as you call it for one side, then you're going to get pushed. But since you call it for both sides, you call out both sides, that's where you're not getting pushed. So unless you're like a Dan Bongino or something like that, you ain't getting no fucking traction.
Well, even when it comes to Rumble, I talk to fucking like a lot of my friends are conservative creators, like hardcore, staunch conservative creators. They say the same thing. Rumble doesn't do a fucking thing to push your shit out unless you have a fucking deal signed with Rumble for an exclusive show or something like that, like LFA TV. They don't do a fucking thing to help you out until you guys start doing a fucking thing, any fucking thing to help creators out. I guess just expect to keep watching your fucking platform die.
Yeah, well, why don't we just, hey, I'm going to put this out here. Ban fucking Rumble. Fuck Rumble. Go to YouTube. That's where you want to be at. Fuck Rumble.
Well, I also have a problem with YouTube because YouTube are like the golden handcuffs. You know, it's like you have to use them because it's the only one where you'll get any traction, and nobody's about to unfuck that situation because, you know, people have tried. There's been platforms that have tried to dethrone YouTube, and the powers that be ain't going to let that happen.
No, that's never going to happen. But I mean, at least with fucking YouTube, you can get some traction being a creator. Yeah. I mean, I just started posting more stuff, and I'm starting to get some little bit of traction just to get back in the algorithms and stuff. But even, you know, doing that with Rumble, it goes absolutely nowhere. I can go back. I could post a video today, 3 months from now, using the proper, you know, SEO tags and all that stuff. I can do all that properly, and I'll have 0 views on it because they're not going to push it. So that's why I say fuck.
I get few views, you know, 30 to 60 max on my Rumble shit ever. And that's after months of just sitting there, just simmering, you know, but the problem with all of this is every fucking demographic of people, every audience of people for all these different sites, y'all motherfuckers are difficult to deal with. I'm just going to tell you like it is as a creator. Y'all motherfuckers are difficult to deal with. Aww. You get set up for Facebook. Facebook people don't go anywhere but Facebook. Instagram, different fucking, the way you operate is different. But Instagram people don't go anywhere but Instagram. YouTube, they stay on YouTube. Rumble stays on Rumble. Fucking all these other ones. X stays on X. And well, if you want to talk about not getting traction, I can't imagine why I have not gotten any fucking traction on X. I'm up to 163 followers after a year, and that's just consistently dropping and rising and dropping and rising and dropping and rising. I think 164 is the most I've ever seen in my career on X. You just cannot. And everybody, that's the weird thing is everybody I talk to, they can't get traction on X either. So I don't know what the fuck that's all about.
I can't get traction there either. I've at one point like had 200 followers, but what I've noticed is like when I started because that's one thing I like to do, especially on X and stuff like that. When you see the followers, I'll go see, like click on them and be like, okay, let's see how many followers they have. And these are all just fucking bots that are just liking your shit. So once the algorithms and the powers to be over at X figure out, oh, this is just a bot, they automatically just fucking kick them out. So then that's why you see it. Your numbers just drop so dramatically. And it's like, I'm done dealing with it. Plus, over there, it's just a bunch of crybabies. Let's just be honest. Just fucking crybabies over on X. And I don't like Elon Musk, anyways.
Yeah, I'm still jury's still out. Like I don't trust him. Don't get me wrong, but I'm still kind of on that. Like I'm not sure if this dude is the full-blown, full-on Antichrist. Or if he is, you know, somewhat of a respectable individual. I mean, I get he's a respectable individual based on what he's accomplished and whatnot. And granted, I understand his family's in the CIA or the FBI and all this other shit. You know, like Bezos, grandpa fucking started fucking DARPA. Like, yeah, I'm sure you didn't do all of this by yourself, you know, but.
Oh, come on. You can link most of these fucking social medias back to NGOs and all that stuff. That's how they got their money. Facebook, Instagram.
Well, it's just like you know, people are all like, oh, Nick Fuentes, Andrew Tate, oh my God, Andrew Tate, oh Christian Tate, oh my God, it's Sneeko. These all motherfuckers are tied to the CIA and the FBI. They all got family members in the FBI. And you really fucking think that Fuentes is going to be able to say the shit that he says and every single day, all day long? You really think he's going to be able to say that shit and get away with it without being protected? That motherfucker's paid opposition. That's the only way you can be a half Mexican white nationalist.
Uh-oh. You better watch it, man. You might trigger some people by that comment because, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of motherfuckers that like to listen to him and they don't want to believe that.
Don't get me wrong.
Heaven forbid.
A lot of what he says is spot on. A lot of what he says is spot on. A lot of what he says is very realistic.
Right.
But the wheels are starting to come off. And if you know what it looks like to have the wheels come off of a federal agent, you know what you're watching now. Now, all of a sudden, it wasn't pedophilia. No. It was questionable, but it wasn't pedophilia. These guys aren't really to blame. Yeah, no, go fuck yourself. We're done. Fuck you, Fuentes. We're done. I mean, I'm sure you're a nice human. I'm sure you're a very very charismatic speaker. You're a well-spoken orator. I like everything about Nick Fuentes other than the fact that I believe he's a Fed. And I think he's out here strictly trying to pull the people that would follow him, you know, the realistic motherfuckers that have a problem with why is it that white people are getting fucking erased, but everybody else is getting bolstered. Like, why is this I think he's out here solely just to pull those people out of the shadows so that the government can track them.
Yeah, that would make perfect sense.
Same with Andrew Tate. How can you be a fucking billionaire and talk all this shit when we see every day somebody else got kicked down a fucking stairwell for saying part of what you said?
Right. Well, and here's the thing. He's, with these paid oppositions like Fuentes and Tate and stuff like that, in my opinion, they're serving a purpose right now. The moment they stop serving that purpose and they stop doing what they're supposed to be doing, they're either going to be canceled or they're going to be off. Yeah. Let's just be honest. Yeah. And as long as they keep on agreeing to do what they're doing, then they ain't got shit to worry about. They're just going to cash a check.
Yeah. Well, look at what happened to Charlie. Charlie got capped out in the middle of a fucking basically a giant event in front of thousands of people, and he said nothing close to what these motherfuckers say. And Fuentes walks around the streets of New York without a fucking care in his fucking world. He walks around the streets of Chicago. He's all over the place. He's on planes. He's in airports. Nobody ever takes this motherfucker out. Why is that? Oh, it's probably because he's protected.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, you can look at the whole, and I know the whole Charlie Kirk thing, it's a hot button for a lot of people, but you have to take a look at that whole scenario with that Charlie Kirk thing. It's ironic that it was not even a week or a few days prior to Charlie Kirk being assassinated that he refused to take money from a certain country.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, when Charlie Kirk got assassinated, you got to look at that plane, where that came from. Number one. Number two, why was there so many cell phones in the crowd that were bought and paid for and had the service connected in that one country? And then miraculously, he just gets knocked off. And then what is it, a few months later, his wife takes that money anyways?
It wasn't even months. It was a few weeks that fucking she took that money. And it was days when she popped out of the fucking stage with pyrotechnics and shit. How was that shit? How'd you get that shit in such short notice? The whole stadium, the pyrotechnics all set up. How'd you get that in just a couple of days? That's weird.
Well, now the other question to that, though, is, why is it that they rented out the place, a year prior?
Yeah, I heard it was like 4 months or something. They had it.
Something like that. Yeah, so you what the fuck's going on?
Well, look at Turning Point now. Turning Point's getting rid of hundreds of motherfuckers. Like some of their top performers, getting rid of them. Why? Because we know who owns the motherfucker now.
Well, they're getting rid of them, and it's just like, they're
not even giving reasons. They're just like, you no longer work here. There's the door, fuckstick.
Well, and they're sending out the cease and desist letters and all that shit to people.
NDAs.
Yep. So it's like, what are you motherfuckers hiding that you need to do that?
Right. It's almost like
that's the question people should really be fucking asking, instead of, we all know that Tyler Robinson didn't act alone in this whole situation. I mean, you got to be fucking deaf, dumb, and stupid to fucking realize that.
If he was even involved. I mean, let's be real.
Exactly. But it's like you have so many people believing, this kid did it himself, hopped off the roof and all that, placed a gun nicely wrapped up in all this time, and yet had a video of him or a picture of him at the Dairy Queen that they were trying to say that was from a long time ago. Yeah. It's like interesting. Yeah. And we all know AI is a motherfucker, and AI can do anything, but it's just like, those are the questions that motherfuckers need to be asking, and not just being, oh yeah, that's true.
Well, it would be so much better if everybody would just wake the fuck up and realize that everything that you're shown, okay, everything you see is what you're shown. You don't ever see anything they don't want you to see. That's the way this works. It would be so much easier if everybody would just wake the fuck up and understand that everything you're shown is a fucking psyop. There is always a fucking angle to it. And that's what we're going to talk about today is I think one of the biggest fucking currently running psyops right now. And that's this whole pill thing, this whole cultural pill, not big pharma, not Pfizer, not Moderna, not all that. I'm talking about the cultural pills, the red pill, the blue pill, the white pill, and especially the black pill, because that is what's really allowing the government to get more and more agents without them even knowing they're agents for the government and not getting paid for it either. They're just useful fucking idiots, as we hear from the communists all the time. They are literally called useful idiots. We'll use them until they're used up, and then we off them. Then we kick them to the curb, or we fucking put them in the ground. Whatever's gonna benefit us the most. So,
well, and 9 times out of 10, what's going to end up happening is that the useful idiots are going to be the first to go.
Oh yeah. Well, as soon as they run their course, as soon as a useful idiot starts waking up, they kill them motherfuckers first. As soon as they achieve their means, they kill the useful idiots first. The people like us, the people that come out and push against the government. See, here's where a lot of people got this fucked up and I've actually had these conversations with a lot of people. I just sit on this side because they're going to be the ones that win it in the end. And then they're going to, create a seat for me. No, they fucking ain't. I will tell you this, you've got a better chance of being the guy that pushes back against the entire American government when it goes completely tyrannical and wipes us all out. You've got a better chance of gaining a seat in their new parliament, their new Congress, their new cabinet than you as the guy that pushed back on them than you do as the guy that just did whatever the fuck they told you, because they know you'll do anything anybody ever tells you because you're always for sale. Yep. Full stop. That's it. You're always for sale. You're the first ones to go. Plus, you're the dimmest fucking light in the box. You're the dimmest light in the whole fucking stadium because you just don't bother looking at anything. If somebody tells you something, boom, that's truth. If it feels like something that I could agree with, it's immediately truth. I saw it on a headline. It's golden. Right? Let's go.
That's fucking true, though. It's just, I mean, and I've said this because I've done a lot of research in communism, with the CCP and how it formed and everything. Literally, they take out the smart people first because they want the dumb down society, which is what we're seeing right now with everything that's going on. They want the dumb down society because they're easier to control. But the problem is, like you said, Cliff, when you become a yes man or yes girl, lady, whatever, the moment they take over, they're going to take you out because they know if something was going to happen and it was going to be overthrown, you'd be the first people that are going to go to the other side. You're going to switch sides. And that's why they will exterminate you. Let's just be honest.
Yeah. It's easier to get, let's say it's far more effective to your goals to coerce a smart person who does not subscribe to a team to force them to subscribe to your team. That's far more beneficial to your end goal than it is to have stupid people bolstering your numbers at a certain point. Because just like you said, those stupid people will flip-flop. Those stupid people will go right over to the other side. But the people that have fought the entire system all along, we have a loyalty to whatever we are particularly loyal to, and that doesn't fade. You don't buy us out. You don't get us. But if you could convince us, which happens all the time, if you can convince people to place their loyalty in a different position for a better reason, they will do that. But they'll fight that motherfucker till the death.
Yeah, no, exactly. And unfortunately, like you said, I mean, people really need to start waking up. I mean, they do, because I mean, the way we're going with, it's just, you got to swallow the right pill, folks. You really do.
Right.
You need to wake the fuck up and see what the fuck's going on. That's why we don't choose sides. that's why, the big thing that you brought up before, Cliff, like far middle. I mean, that's why we're at where we're at, is because we see the bullshit on either side and we're not afraid to call it out.
Right.
And that's what needs to happen to wake up more people. But unfortunately, there's just so much on either side of the aisle that is just blindly following. And that's a huge problem.
Well, and it all has to do with those fucking pills that I talked about just a minute ago. Yeah. You got the red pill, the blue pill, the white pill, the black pill. So the way this all works out is it all started with the red pill and the blue pill. You can thank the Matrix. That's not where it actually came from, but you can thank the Matrix for making this mainstream knowledge. The red pill is, if you take the red pill, you see reality. You don't get to go back once you see it. You don't get to unsee the realness of the world once you take the pill. But you need to take the pill. You have this deep-seated feeling in you that you need to take this red pill. You need to see the reality so that you can understand the game that's being played on you, right? Well, then you got the blue pill. The blue pill is comfortable delusion, comfortable illusion, if you will. You want to stay locked inside your own delusion, your own ignorance, because it's comfortable that way. And I'll tell you what, I'll be honest with you guys. I myself have said this. I wish, and many times I've said this, I wish I could go back to a time where I didn't know. There's been times in my life where I really wish I could go back to a place of ignorance, because life as an ignorant motherfucker seems to be a whole lot happier, because all the dumbass motherfuckers I know that don't pay no attention to none of this shit, to not to the government, to politics, to people, to culture, to race, to religion, they don't pay no attention. They're happy as a fucking bug and shit. Like, they're happier than a clam. And I'm kind of envious of that sometimes. I also get the fact that they're just part of the fucking problem. They're moseying through a fucking world that we're trying to unfuck, and they just keep it fucked with their own stupidity and their own willful ignorance. But, if you're looking for happiness, being stupid is the fucking number one way to be happy.
Right. Well, I mean, that's exactly what the government wants. That's what all world governments want. They want to dumb down society. That's why we see it happening in schools. That's why we see it happening in colleges. All that stuff is to literally dumb down society, because let's be honest. I mean, I would be much happier if I wasn't woken up and I can just every day just go open my door, hop in my car, go to work, just do that normal routine, not give a care in the fucking world. But unfortunately, I'm not wired that way. I see things for what they are, and that's what people need to start doing. I mean, yeah, comfortability just to be, hey, that's great. But one thing that people don't understand, like when we do these things, you take those dives down these rabbit holes, and that rabbit hole just keeps going and going and going and going and going. It definitely puts you in a different perspective, and you see things for a whole different light. And that's why, sometimes I wish I can shut that part of it off just to live a more simple life. Right. But in the same aspect, if I did that, I wouldn't be doing myself any justice or doing myself any favors.
Or your countrymen or your country,
Exactly.
Exactly. That's where the white pill comes in. If you're not familiar with the white pill, those are the really weird fucking people that they just see joy and happiness everywhere. Everywhere is wonderful. Everywhere is great. Even if it's not great right this second, it's going to be great in a minute. If you just give it a second, we'll just get through it and everything's going to be amazing again. Those are the white pill. Like, nothing is wrong. Nothing is bad. Nothing is off. Nothing is, there's not a tyrannical government with its boot on your throat. There's none of that. There's no problems with race relations. No, none of that. It's all fake. Everything's amazing. But then you got the black pill people. You okay? So the black pill to me is the only psyop in these pills, right? These cultural pills, because if everything is a psyop, nothing is a psyop. So what they have to do is they have to make certain things just realistic. And then in that realism, they will slide in a psyop. And that's where the black pill comes in. So I get called black pilled all the fucking time. Now, if you don't know what blackpilled is the term that people will use to refer to people that are complete and total nihilists. Like, there's zero fucking hope left. Don't bother with hope. Don't bother. You don't even need to go to work. We're all going to fucking die anyway. The world's fucked. There's no saving anything. There's no way we're going to live happy ever again. People are just going to continue to die off in record numbers, and the world is going to cease to exist. That's blackpilled. But people want to apply the term blackpilled to people that question the government, like me. And here's the fucking truth of it. True American patriots are not conservative. True American patriots are not fucking liberal. True American patriots are Americans that know that the government has from day one never given us a fucking reason to trust it and given us every reason to not trust it. We are the fucking patriots. We are the ones that question the government in its entirety. And because we question the government, there will be certain demographics of people, i.e. the right and the left, that say we're black-pilled. They say we're the outlier. We're the fringe element in the American populace. We're the ones that don't trust anything about the government. We're the problem. Now, the fact is, though, is that we're actually the patriots. It's our questioning, the people like us that have been, the quote unquote black pillars. It's us from the inception of the American government. It has been us that has bumper bowled this motherfucker into a straight line. It has been us that has forced the government through our questioning of it to maintain some sort of straight trajectory when it comes to the people. We know the government's corrupt. We know the government's fucked. We know the government hates all the people in the fucking country. That's why it acts like it does. But if you don't have the people that don't like the government enough to fucking question it from every angle, it's going to start sliding into one way or another, and it's going to do whatever the fuck it wants to do. And that's how they slide this psyop in. They say, we're black-pilled, right? And who do they get? And how do they label us black pillars? They label us black pillars through the red and the blue pill. See, the red and the blue pill never had anything to do with the political parties. It just never did. But the political parties have commandeered this notion of this red pill and this blue pill, because the colors match, and that's about the extent of their intellect, is they can match colors. And B, it's because it bolsters their argument. It bolsters their numbers. Well, us Republicans, we're the red pillars. We like to accept total reality. We want to know everything that's happening in the world. And then on the other side is the blue pillars, because they'll say, you guys just want to sit over there and just live in your lies, live in your fucking illusion. You just want to live in this idealistic world that just doesn't operate the way you want it to operate. And then the blue pillars will say, no, we're trying to build the world that we want to see through operating our lives on that level. Meaning, these fucking liberals they want to create, they know the world's fucked up, but they want to create a better world in their mind. It's not a better world in the realistic scheme of things, but in their mind, they want to build this better world. So what they're going to do is they're going to start operating their lives and their own selves in a way that would make other people believe that the world already operates like that. It's basically like rolling out an operating system that nobody's ever heard of by actually using the operating system. It's actually a lead by example kind of moment. I know the right side doesn't want to have that conversation, and I know it's not the way we need to go as a country, but it is respectable in the sense of it's leading by example, which is something the conservatives just don't fucking do. They don't lead by example. They tell the Democrats and the liberals that they're fucking stupid fucks, full of shit, they're all this and that and the other thing, and then they continue being the puppets for that side, for their side of the government, which is no different than the other side. But the black pillars, this is the motherfuckers that both of those teams hate. So what'll happen is I will come into a conversation, which happens all the fucking time. I get sucked into these talk groups. Hey, Savage, what's your opinion on this? I'll get into these talk groups, and then I'll start saying my piece after the other two sides say their piece. And then what'll happen? I get called black pill. And and it's not usually an attack, so to speak. It's more of a, yeah, dude, that's pretty black pilled for me. I don't know if I want to go down that route of being so black pilled. I don't know if I want to lose the hope. I don't know if I want to be quite all that way, this and that and the other thing. Well, what that does is anybody watching that exchange now believes I'm a psycho element from the fringe. They now believe I'm the outcast, I'm the outlier, because somebody called me black-pilled that is firmly placed in the establishment, firmly embedded in their team. So so now this person that was looking in thinks I'm crazy, and the person that told me that I'm a black pillar, that I'm crazy, is enlightened because they must know something about the government and their side that I just don't know. So the people that all watch that exchange now now believe that if you get called blackpilled, that makes you crazy. That doesn't make you an American patriot. That doesn't make you somebody that is 100% more concerned with the welfare and well-being of our country and the future of it than you are as a fucking party. No, that doesn't make them think that. That makes them think you're crazy. And that's where the psyop comes in. They turn everybody on the left and on the right of all varying shades, degrees, and levels. They turn all of those people, all of you motherfuckers, into government agents. They turn you into people that do nothing but divide the populace further so that the government can come in later and maintain control or regain control easier than they would have if it was too many black pillars. And that's how I say being black pilled, first and foremost, it's when you call somebody black pilled because they don't trust the government, that's axiomatically a wrong statement. Right at its core, it's a wrong statement, because not trusting the government doesn't make you a nihilist. It doesn't make you believe that all people are going to fucking die horrendous deaths. Working is there's no point to working. There's no point in this and that and the other thing. Why do we even breathe? That's what blackpilled is. That's what blackpilled is. But that has nothing to do with not trusting the government. Not trusting the government has everything to do with fucking patriotism and wanting the future of our country for our people to go in a direction that is beneficial for the people over the government.
Right. Well, and I think if people are having a hard time understanding actually what blackpilling is, let's just, they were called conspiracy theorists as well. The doom and gloom, that's essentially what it was. And if we can go back and we can look at all these conspiracy theories, blackpilling events, whatever you want to call it, from the past, let's just take recently. So far, the people that have been blackpilled or the conspiracy theorists, I mean, we've been right how much?
100% of the fucking time.
So what better way to switch it around instead, and to put this stigmata out on the black pillars by coming up with this definition, this new way of looking at them. Like, we're nihilists. We think doom and gloom about everything. No, we don't think doom and gloom about everything, folks. We question everything. And that's what they don't like.
Well, we just see it for what it is. When the government says, okay, we're putting a 40,000 page bill through and you have exactly 6 hours to read it all. We see that for what it is. There is gigantic amounts of shit that is bad for the American people in that bill, which is why they gave you 6 hours to do something that's inhumanly fucking impossible. AI couldn't read that motherfucker in 6 hours.
And folks, I want to touch on that, what you just said. All right. For all you people that think that they just pulled these fucking bills and these laws just out of their ass and out of thin air, y'all are like mental if you think that. They have think tanks that come up with all these fucking documents, all these bills, any changes they want to make, state level, federal level, whatever. They have a think tank that does all these. And when the time is right and they get somebody to sign off on it, that's when they introduce it. So when they had, some of these recent things that just came out, take a look at Illinois, the Safety Act. All right, let's just take the Safety Act real quick. You don't think that wasn't already planned out years ago?
Right.
Everything's planned out years and years ago, and it's just finding the opportune time to introduce it, to have somebody sign off on it and sponsor it. Because once they sponsor it, mind you, those politicians get money for sponsoring it. And if you think they don't, you're part of the fucking problem, because they do.
Yeah, they absolutely fucking do. They get money for fucking sponsoring it. They get notoriety. They get pushed to the fucking forefront of the spotlight, all because it's part of the fucking system. The government only operates successfully in the government's eyes if all of the people are fighting. And yet every single fucking day, the people that say, oh, we know the government hates us, we know the government wants us fighting, still fucking argue for the government. You're still on the left side. You're still on the right side. You're literally telling me in one breath, we know the government's out to fuck us all. And in this same breath, you're like, But man, Donnie's my boy, and fucking Massey's my boy, and fucking Marjorie Taylor Greene's my gal. Everybody on that side is fucking amazing. No, they're really here to help us. They're really here to save us. Oh my God, it's fucking out. It's ceased to be comical, and it's like mind-numbingly insane. Like, I can't believe what I'm hearing. You just told me the government is out to fuck us all because it wants complete and total fucking power, and then immediately shifted to half of the government is amazing.
Right. Well, now let's touch on that real quick, because I want to point out something that the conservative side is doing right now that the liberal side did especially during the COVID era. See, I'm seeing fucking videos of you conservatives. Like, somebody goes on YouTube and the FBI has a nice little, app on their phone where you can report people now. And I'm seeing more and more conservatives reporting people for saying, stuff like I am Antifa or I am this or I'm against that. And I see a lot more conservatives hopping on that app to the FBI to report these things. And it's like, wake the fuck up. What is it? Does this sound like anything that has happened in this world, previously, like maybe World War II-ish, where you report your neighbors to get them in trouble, to get them arrested because they're doing something wrong. Conservatives are now doing the same exact thing the fucking liberals did back in 2020 during the COVID era. And it's like, isn't that just a little bit hypocritical?
Well, it's
just fucking little.
It's like my buddy said not too long ago, the other day I was talking to him, and he said, fucking conservatives are just liberals in slow motion. And that's exactly what the fuck it is. When the liberals started cancel culture and they started getting people removed from their jobs, they can't make any money now, can't get work, can't support their families. These liberals watched motherfuckers' kids fucking damn near die because they couldn't be supported. And they laughed the whole fucking time, while conservatives said this is the most despicable satanic shit that we've ever seen, that you would actually laugh at somebody that can't feed their fucking kids as their kids fucking go into the hospital for actual sicknesses having to do with not being taken care of. And you're laughing about this. This is the most satanic shit ever. And now what do we see the conservatives doing? The same fucking thing. Yeah. They're eating it up every single day. In fact, I think the conservative culture, the conservatives, you guys haven't started to partake in cancel culture. You took it over. You commandeered cancel culture and you made it yours now. 10 years too fucking late. That's what you've done. The conservatives are out here, the right side, the Republicans, whatever the fuck you want to call these people, are out here every single day. Oh, this bitch says she hates ICE. Here's her job. Here's her fucking address. Yeah. Here's her fucking kid's school. Oh, this bitch fucking made fun of Charlie. Oh, here's her fucking address. Who, what, on what fucking planet? On what fucking planet does somebody deserve to be fucking hunted down and killed in the street because they joked about the death of somebody they didn't like? It does. That's supposed to be a liberal thing, right? That's not supposed to be the conservatives. I thought you guys didn't have your head in your ass. But now, just because somebody made fun of a death, you don't like. And this is the other fucking thing. I get Charlie was a fucking great dude, blah, blah, blah. I don't know him personally. Neither did you. But I just don't blow the fucking guy. Like, I don't blow anybody. Like, anybody in this life that is not my fucking circle, my family, or my friends, when they die, I don't give a shit if people love it. I don't give a shit if people mock it. I don't give a shit if people like to make fun of it. I just don't give a shit. They're entitled to their fucking opinion. You know what? I've seen a fucking handful of motherfuckers die in the last 10 years that I celebrated too. Why does that make me wrong? Maybe. But it makes me free enough to have that fucking feeling and express it. Yep. I don't give a shit if people fucking die. When Nancy Pelosi fucking collapses, do you really think I'm going to be going to a fucking candlelight vigil for this bitch? No, I'm going to dance on that grave with a bucket of piss in my hands.
We're having a party.
Yeah.
The day that bitch, the day that bitch kicks the bucket, we're having a party. Chuck Schumer, same thing.
I was just thinking Schumer's on the list too. Yeah.
Shifty Shift. He's on the fucking list. Half these politicians are on the fucking list.
Yeah.
It's like,
and the other ones, and the half of the politicians that aren't on the list of celebrate when they die are just don't give a fuck when they die. Fuck all of you people. Yeah,
I'm not gonna give it. Well, and see, that's one thing I never understood. People getting upset when a celebrity dies or something like that. It's like, did you know? Right. Why are you getting upset for somebody you don't even fucking know?
Like, I get it.
It makes no sense. It makes no sense to me, though. It's like, okay, let's just take Social Distortion. I love Social Distortion. It's, Mike Ness. It just, I connect with his music and what he does. But when he kicks the bucket, I'm gonna be like, hey man, punk rock lost a good fucking dude. Now he's up there fucking doing it with the rest of them up there. I'm not gonna be like shut down my fucking life. Oh my god, he died. Like half you motherfuckers do. Come on, grow the fuck up.
Like, and I get it. There's varying levels of, of love and commitment to celebrities and, based on their mission. And I'm not taking away anything from Charlie's mission. He was an awesome dude by the metrics that I know. The dude could have been a shit pile in the fucking shadows. We all the time find out super celebrities were shitheads in the fucking shadows. I don't think that he was, but just outwardly viewing him, he seemed like a really good stand-up dude. He did a lot of stuff that was good, that was positive. He brought a lot of people to God, which I understand is a good thing. The other thing that I don't agree with, though, is he brought a lot of people to the Republican Party, which is still dividing the American population. It's still creating the wedge between the people of America. Because here's the truth. If you go out right now into your own neighborhood and you start talking to your neighbors, the ones you don't know, the odds are you're going to have a really good conversation as long as you never know what people's politics are. As soon as you find out that they're a Democrat or a Republican and you're not that thing, there's going to be a rift either on your side or their side. But if you can leave that bullshit out, I would guarantee you're going to find a lot more good conversations with a lot more decent fucking people than you will find piss poor conversations with evil people. Because most of the American people, most of the people in America just aren't evil. We're not evil-hearted. We're not black-hearted. We just want to live. We want to fucking survive. We want to have a little bit of extra money at the end of the month to take our family out to dinner or on a vacation. This is the shit we want. We don't ever wake up thinking about how we don't want our neighbors to not eat. I hope my neighbor doesn't eat today. It would save a lot of food in the food. Nobody ever thinks of that stuff. But to come out and continuously divide the American population based on political siding is fucking stupid. It's disgusting. Like, why can't we get a Charlie that's in the middle? Why can't we get a Charlie that just absolutely fucking wants to just question all of the government rather than blow half of it and fucking hang the other half? Like,
well, and here's the thing. I mean, Charlie, one of the good things that Charlie did do is have the communication. He created conversations.
Great communicator.
Yes. But the problem was, like you said, he got a lot of people to come over to the Republican Party. You need somebody that's going to be 100% in the middle to be able to open up those conversations with people and not care if they're on the right or on the left, but just to have these conversations so people can, hear different viewpoints of why you feel this way and not demonize somebody because they feel this way. Everybody has a right to feel the way they want to feel about whoever they want, and the problem is that if, say, the right, say like I was like so pro Trump, I'm like Trump, and say like you, Cliff, you weren't, and and then you start demonizing me for that. You can't do that. You got to be like, okay, well, that's your opinion. That's who you like. I understand, but here's my opinion on this person and why I feel this way. So this way you can have that conversation. And you're not name calling, you're not doing any of that other bullshit. And that's the biggest fucking problem. You can't have these conversations because people will, they don't want to believe or accept the fact that their side is wrong.
Right. Well, and that's, I got told, so I get all these big names. Like, I'm friends with a lot of big names that you'd never fucking guess because I'm not barking it all over the fucking internet. I'm not posting our message threads. I'm not fucking posting and tagging these motherfuckers in it all the time. Like, we have real friendships. The friendships that I have with these big names are just real friendships. We do shit in our lives. We come together for a fucking conversation here and there, and then we go back about our lives. Well, I've got friends that they like to, say things about me. Like the one guy said, I'm every blue check mark's guilty pleasure. Another guy said, I am the outburst that everybody wishes they could have. But one of them told me that he's like, you're like the Charlie of the middle. Where Charlie was really good at bringing people to the Republican Party, really good at blowing holes in their bullshit to get them pulled over to the other side. You're really good at blowing holes in their bullshit to get them into the middle. You stop early, where he pulled them all the way, you stop early. You just want people in the middle. And I've never said that out loud because I do have a great deal of respect for Charlie. Okay, just based on what I know about him and based on what I saw him do, I do have a great deal of respect for Charlie. So I didn't ever say this out loud, but you know what? We need more Charlies to pull people into the middle, not all the way to the right. We need people that are as gifted as Charlie, to which I am not at all. I am not intelligent as he is. I've got bigger teeth and smaller gums than he did, but but other than that, I'm not on that level. I'm just not. But we do need more people like Charlie that are willing to pull people into the middle from their own side or from the other side. Pull everybody into the middle and at least just have the conversation about what the government in its entirety is all about. Even if it's not what it's doing to us, let's just assess what it's all about.
Well, no, exactly. And see, I like to look at it like this, because when I first started off doing all this, I was very heavy conservative. And then I started slowly pulling away from that because questioning everything. And when I found that when I came into the middle, like I am now, I am more of a free thinker than I was before.
Yeah.
Because I'm not just taking the one side and that's my talking point. I can take talking points from the left, the right, the middle, and I can see everything for the way it is. Mm-hmm. And that's what I love about being in the middle is that you are not demonized. You're not talked down to because you're a free thinker from other people in the middle. Unfortunately, you would still be considered, you'll be talked down to, demonized and all that stuff, talking to somebody on the right or the left. That's unfortunate until you can gravitate them towards the middle. The middle is freeing. The middle is independent. The middle is just, you're free. I mean, let's just be honest. You're just fucking free. And it's such a great feeling to be in the fucking middle and know that you're free to do and think how you want to and be able to have those conversations. I have conversations with people on the left, people on the right all the time. I don't tell them where I stand, but I hear their points of views. And it's like, I don't look at them differently because of their point of view. Unless it's so outlandish, then I'll be like, you might want to rethink that. And this is why. But I don't just sit there and be like, oh, you're just a fucking dumbass motherfucker that just wants to wear, a blue hat.
Right. Well, you know what? And I've never been on a side. I've never been on a side as long as I can remember. Because here's the thing. When I grew up, I had to grow up very, 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 very quickly. Right? Like a baby deer's got to grow up right now. I had to grow up right now. Here's the thing that I saw. So in my neighborhood, I grew up in a place called Wildwood, Illinois. And the political views of my parents were that of a conservative. But the political views of this neighbor that we had to the left side was that of the liberals, the Democrats. And then we had this libertarian-esque dude on the other side. And what I noticed is because they all used to be friends, because back in the day you could have opposing views and be friends, but you can't now because people are fucking stupid and they buy everything the government tells them. But I would listen to them talk to each other. I would listen to their little coffee clatches, their little fucking front yard or backyard get-togethers around the fire and all this other stuff. And I very quickly realized that the Democrat that was my neighbor on the left, my dad, the conservative, and the libertarian that was my neighbor on the right were all extremely fucked in all of the same fucking ways. All through my childhood, they just used to talk about how extremely fucked they always were. How is it that the Democrat was just as fucked as the conservative that was just as fucked as the libertarian? And we've seen Democrats and Republicans in office. We'll never see libertarians in office. So that's why, then that again, like I always say, that's why they talk so much shit, because they know they'll never win and ever have to back up anything they fucking say. So it's really just easy to come out and spew your bullshit without knowing you'll never have to back it up. But just that, I mean, I as a child saw that the government was fucking my neighbors and my family in the same ways, at the same time, all the way through the course of my life. Yet we would still every now and then hear them bicker about, well, I don't fucking do that Democrat bullshit. Or I don't do that Republican bullshit, Like, dude, you're all fucked in the exact same fucking way. And you're wondering, and you're arguing about what part of the government is better. And it's responsible for you being this fucked.
Yeah, no, exactly. People actually just will just sit back. Like right now, the Democrats hate the government. They hate it so much, because of the administration, all that stuff. But can you actually pinpoint what you really hate about it? Not just the man, like who's in office, but why do you hate it so much? Do you hate it because laws aren't, working in the favor of what you thought they were going to? Taxes, all that stuff. And the problem is that they hate it because of one person.
Right.
One person makes you hate the government. It makes you just hate it, but you don't really know why you hate the government. You hate the government because of one person, not the actual reasons why you should be.
Well, and the funniest thing about that is you start on the rare occasion that you can actually get policy conversation out of somebody that hates the government or hates the other side of the government. Most of the time you get policy conversation out of them, they don't understand that, that's rooted in the other side. You're talking to a Republican and they talk about fucking policy and you're like, yeah, that was a Democrat policy like 100 years ago. And then vice versa. You talk to a Democrat and you're like, yeah, that was a Republican policy in the early 1900s. I don't know what we're talking about here. These fucking people operate solely and strictly on indoctrination. They have allowed themselves to be told, to be commanded to what team they're fucking going to play on. Then nothing more.
No, that's it. And
so I think
they just take those talking points and that's all they see.
Well, it's like, here, let me pull this motherfucker up. This is a good one because my buddy Dominic Izzo fucking posted something. Izzo posted something this morning on fucking Instagram, and I want to pull this fucking thing up because I want to talk about this real quick. Let me hunt this shit down because it is fantastic.
Dom is definitely a very wise man. I will say that.
I like Dominic Izzo a lot. I love that motherfucker because he's got this shit figured out. So
he's a good dude.
He posted this thing, and it's a meme, and it's called MAGA tunnel vision, right? And if you can see that, I'll just give you the basic layout there. That's what it looks like. You can see the red hat.
Yep.
So it's a guy in the red hat. Obviously, he's the MAGA guy, and he's focused only on this one segment, this tiny little fraction, this percentage of the wheel that says, deport the illegals. And he's all super excited about that. But all around that is in symbolism of what he's not paying attention to is militarized policing normalized, ICE expanding budget and power, unaccountable enforcement apparatus, domestic extremist labeling, DHS and big tech fusion centers, permanent emergency powers, internal passport system, technocratic surveillance state, Palantir database, biometric tracking, and algorithmic pre-crime systems. This is such a fucking good illustration as to what everybody needs to know about all of the fucking teams. Both teams operate exactly on that. Both fucking teams, they pick out one fucking thing that's going good in their fucking side because each side has one thing that's always going good. Right? It's not always that thing, but there is always one thing that is going good at any current time. So they'll look at that one fucking thing that's going good. They'll fucking totally mentally erase everything around it that's going piss poor. And they'll be like, that's our team. Go, boys.
You hit the nail on the head there, man. And it's funny. You mentioned Palantir and, for any of you that don't know what Palantir actually is, it's, facial recognition that, they want to implement to be able to catch people. Well, there's a country that already has facial recognition that's happening. Actually, our good friends at Google designed their social credit scoring system as well, and that's called Communist China. Wake the fuck up. You don't want Palantir here.
Well, people don't understand that it goes deeper than that. Did you know, I don't know if you know this, but did you know that when you walk through public, there are actually systems, surveillance systems that can tell your identity by your gait? What that means is by the way you step while you walk, they can tell your identity because every single person has a biometric gait that is solely theirs. Each person walks different than a next person. There's not two people on earth that walk the same way. So now they have these informational systems in these fucking surveillance systems that can actually read your identity simply by the way you walk. They don't have to have your face. They don't have to have your fingerprint. They don't have to have distinguishing tattoos, nothing. You can wear a blanket, and as long as they can see you from the knees down, they can tell who the fuck you are.
Yeah, and what side's really hoping that's really pushing for Palantir? That's called for Palantir to, release Palantir. You know what side's calling for that?
Say it out loud. Say it out loud.
It's the fucking right. It's
yes,
the conservatives that want it. You're what Laura Loomer, you're fucking those people, they're calling for it. Bring out Palantir, especially after Charlie. They're like, bring out Palantir, you know, we need it. It's like, huh. Why are you guys calling it out right now? Why do you want it so bad?
So this is how it works. This is how the government works. I'm going to see if I can simplify this for these fucking window licking idiots out here.
Hold on, let me go lick my windows.
So this is the way. Let me just get this thing here, this little diagram I've got here. So this is the way the government works, right? Same color, right? That's the government. It's the same fucking color. It's the same fucking machine. But what it's going to do is it's going to tell you that this side is different than this side. And what it's going to do is it's going to put one of these sides in power. And one of these sides will slide into power. And then they'll do a bunch of fucked up shit that the government actually wants to do. The government wants this shit to happen, but the people don't. So they'll put this side in, and then they'll let that side fester and do a bunch of shit until it pisses off enough people, and then the people will come in and be like, no. Now we've got to put the other side in. No. And after 4 to 8 years, no. Now we got to put the other side in. Every fucking step is a ladder, is a step upwards in the ladder of the goals that the government has. Up here is where the government wants to be. Down here is where the government started. So it just lets stupid people walk the government up to its goal.
Yeah, no, exactly. Let's, I just had a thought. Let's put it to you like this. Why do you think they changed so much? So like we had Biden in, everybody voted for Biden, right? The reason why they voted for Biden, it started doing different laws that would help get up that chain. Well, Biden fulfilled his mission. Everybody wanted Trump back. Trump's doing the same thing. Trump did it in his first thing. It's whatever can get over easier with the people. That's the person that's going to be in power because that person's going to be able to implement the stuff to create that ladder and keep going up and up and up. So that's why those people are in power to further climb up that ladder, and everybody is just falling for it.
The house never loses.
Nope.
The government is the house. I mean, like, the government is mom and dad. You think mom and dad are going to lose because of the fucking kids? No, they're going to let the kids do whatever the fuck they need the kids to do in order to keep them winning.
Yeah, and if some of the kids happen to fall off, then so be it. It's just less people they got to worry about.
Yep, little skinned knee here and there, whatever. We don't mind that, That's why our American military, like it's, back in the day. So I dropped out of high school to join the military, and I couldn't join the military because we were in a time of war. They didn't take people with they didn't take dropouts. Apparently, I didn't know that. But I went there because my buddy was joining, and I wanted to be my brother's keeper, and. He wanted to join the Marine, I wanted to join the Army because I grew up in an Army household, and he wanted to join the Marines. So I went to join the Marines, but it was then like just talking to the recruiters, you really understand. You're not defending the people. Like that's literally what the recruiter told me. He's like, we're not here to defend the people. We're here to defend the government that defends the people. That's what a recruiter told me. Yeah. A fucking Marine recruiter told me, we're not here to defend the people. We're here to defend the government that defends the people.
Yeah, no, and
still people can't get it. Still people can't get it.
Oh, that's what both my brothers served. One served in the Air Force, one served in the Army, and you know what? If they were on the show right now, they tell you the same exact thing. Because I had, one of them, I believe he was a recruiter as well at one point. So I mean,
well. Think about this. If no governments existed, right? Like, first and foremost, government is a necessary evil. Like, you need some sort of government to not just have pure chaos. Okay, so it's not like I can handle chaos. Y'all motherfuckers can't handle chaos. I promise this. Most of the people here, they can't handle chaos. I mean, look what happens when you get a flat tire in your car. Your whole life ends. You're not going to be able to handle chaos. And the government does do something to not have just complete and utter anarchy. So it is a necessary evil. To what extent is up for debate. But when it comes to the government, they need to, God damn it. I thought about Democrat shit and I just lost it. Yeah. Like, this is how distracting this shit is, you know, but the
Well,
government's a necessary evil. Go ahead.
That's I was just saying that's what it's supposed to do. You're supposed to be distracted by it.
Well, yeah. And the system's working great right now. But the government's a necessary evil. So without the government, you have anarchy. This is where I was going with it. Think about this. If we didn't have any governments, right? We just had the American people, the Canadian people, the Greenlandians, the Denmarkians, you know, the Danish and all this. Yeah. Like it's just funny. I'm not actually retarded. It was just a joke. But we have all these different countries of people. Do you really think that the big push in America would be to go to Iran and take over all the people? Do you really think the big push in America would be to go down south and push against Venezuela? Do you think that would be on Americans' minds? Or do you think we would just be living it up, doing whatever we had to do to get by, to feed our families, to farm our foods, to, you know, whatever? I'm pretty sure that every country of fucking people without a government would not be concerned with fucking going to war with another country. It's the governments that are always concerned with going to war with another fucking country to scare up funding, to scare up, support, to bolster the numbers of the people that will back up the government. You know, some of it incites patriotism or nationalism. It's all fucking theater, because without governments, there wouldn't be any fucking wars, or they would be very, very small wars, and they would end very, very quickly.
No, exactly. You know, and unfortunately, though, even if, say, you wipe out all the governments in the world, the problem is going to still be there, because you're going to have ambitious people that want more as well.
The human greed element.
Yep. Well, the human greed, the human ego. The ego wants more.
Yeah.
So that's, you know, unfortunately, that will be a problem. And that's why the government is a necessary evil. We need that at a minimal, at, you know, the very most, because it's always going to be somebody that's ambitious that's going to want more. And then so like, say the United States, we're all over here. There's no government here in the United States, Mexico, South America, Canada, whatever. And we're just here, just doing our fucking thing. Eventually somebody, either whatever country, is going to be ambitious and be like, I want more. I want more land. I want more of this. I want more of that. And then they're going to just start going. And that's when it creates everything. And unfortunately, without having that government and those borders and all that stuff, that's what protects the people in those countries from that happening.
But that's where the government comes in, though. It takes that first guy. I mean, even when we can go back to to Viking culture, even. Yeah. Motherfuckers would have never set sail if somebody wasn't there going, we need to set sail.
Exactly. The Vikings were very, very ambitious. They wanted, but their ambitions were for land to farm to better their families and all that stuff. It wasn't about, you know, going and like taking over. They just wanted plots of land to be able to, you know, do their thing. You know, but it's the same fucking thing. It was ambition that got them to build those boats that everybody wanted. It was that ambition that got them to be able to go the seas where they went and do what they wanted to do. And, you know, for them to take the land that they needed, unfortunately, again, that ambition was the whole cause of it.
Right. Yeah, and ambition is a necessary thing, but I still think that ambition will only go so far as long as you don't have somebody leading you into battle. You know, and we as people, we are tribal people. We need leaders. Like, that's the problem with this world today, is that everybody's starving to follow a real leader. So anybody that gets put in front of them and tells them, I'm a real leader, or somebody else tells them he's a real leader, they immediately jump on board. It's fucking insanity, and they're never the real leaders. They're never fucking real leaders. Motherfuckers, if you wanted to follow real leaders, you'd be following the people that'll tell you, question everything because it's fucking hurting you. Not don't question anything because that hurts me. It would be question everything because it is hurting you.
Yeah. No, exactly. I mean,
but we get labeled black pillars, the leaders,
conspiracy theorists, black pillars, whatever. I mean, I'll take it. I'm a free thinker. I'm comfortable with that. Fuck them.
Yeah. So let's wrap this shit up. But when it comes to the fucking black pill, first and foremost, the red pill, the blue pill, it has nothing to do with Republican and Democrat. Stop that bullshit. You're just using fucking lies to bolster your own fucking defense of something that you shouldn't be defending. But white pillars, you guys are the worst. Like you guys are a huge part of the fucking problem of this idealistic bullshit, not living in reality.
I think they took too many drugs.
Yeah, they took too many fucking drugs. Y'all whacked out all the time. And then the black pillars, for everybody that's not a black pilled, air quotes, stop telling people they're black pilled. Start telling people that they're patriots. At least, if nothing else, stop when you get into a situation, a conversation, a circumstance with a person that you would otherwise refer to as black pilled. Think about that first before you throw that label around so other people can hear it. Think about what they're saying. Is it true? Because this is the number one question nobody ever wants to ask is it true? When you get hit, like I just said in a video not too long ago on my Instagram, said, yeah, I call people fucking stupid because I was attacked by friends of mine. So I'll lay this story out for you real quick. I open my message threads in Instagram, and I'm all of a sudden in this big talk group, right? There's several people in it, and they're just berating me. They're just telling me about how they're fucking tired of me attacking them online. And I'm just like giggling. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm attacking you online, and it all has to do with the videos of the arrests. Okay. So there was a church that was stormed by Don Lemon and some cronies. They arrested two fucking nobodies. Two absolute fall guys because the judge blocked the order to arrest Don Lemon. Pam Bondi is refusing to go after the judge that blocked the order. She could go another couple of ways to get him arrested, but she's not doing that. So they let the two fall guys take the heat for all the important people. And then as soon as that happened, there was just thousands and thousands and thousands of videos of people that I know and people I don't. All saying, Pam Bondi's awesome. Pam Bondi's awesome. She's really coming through for her. She's getting the arrests to start. She had two people arrested in her entire fucking stint as her position there, and they were both fucking nobodies. And she's not pursuing any somebodies. So I made a video of like how fucking stupid it is. Like this is the distraction. You guys are fucking retarded. You want to say that she's all of a sudden awesome when yesterday you were questioning everything, but now that you got two people fucking arrested that were nobodies that aren't even going to do any time. They're not even going to get community service. They're not going to get a fine. They're probably not going to get shit. They're going to get a slap on the hand and sent back home. But you want to hit the internet talking about how amazing that is. Well, these motherfuckers said, we're tired of you telling us we're stupid because that's what your content is. You keep telling us, the fucking government's out to kill us all, out to hurt us all, out to choke us all, out to fucking steal all our money. You think you're saying it's stupid that we're celebrating any joy. I was like, no. And I stopped him right there. I was like, I'm not denying that you should be celebrating joy. You should be celebrating joy. You should be getting your joy from real things, though, not this bullshit and then hitting the internet and trying to fool millions of other fucking people into think that this was something. This was a pile of nothingness. This was a nothing burger, and you got excited for it, and that's the way the government works. Oh, shit, they're pushing harder and harder and harder. Stick a binky in their fucking mouth, and they'll shut the fuck up. And you motherfuckers proved my point. You were pissing and moaning about the government until they stuck a binky in your mouth, until you got to see some nobody get arrested. You just wanted to see somebody in handcuffs. It didn't matter who. You just wanted to see somebody in handcuffs. Once they gave that to you, you shut the fuck up about all the important shit that you were questioning yesterday. And they came at me and came at me and came at me. And I'm just not going to fucking have it. Like, y'all motherfuckers don't like my content. It's because you won't ask yourself that question. Is it true? I said, y'all motherfuckers are stupid for making these videos celebrating the arrests of nobody. Why didn't you stop and say, well, fuck. Is he right? Is it true? Am I actually being stupid for celebrating this? And what would make me stupid for celebrating this? What's the criteria, the evidence, and the data that would say that I should not be celebrating? You didn't want to get into any of that. You just wanted to be happy about seeing somebody in handcuffs because it bolstered your side's narrative. Nothing more.
Yep. Pam Bondi is, I think that bitch needs to be fired.
That bitch is only in her position is because they fucking own her. Cash Patel's the same fucking way. Dan Bongino's a bigger disgrace than both of them put together because at least they're still doing the fucking job. He ran his mouth for years and years and years about how he would clean up the government single-handedly if he ever got into it. He got in, then he sold the American people a fucking laundry list of fucking bald-faced lies and then quit. And now he's coming after the people that don't trust the government. If you can tell me any criteria that would make somebody believe that somebody is an asset more than that for the FBI continuously to this day, then Dan Bongino, I would be willing to listen to it. But that motherfucker is the biggest fucking piece of shit of the whole fucking scheme. And now he's blocking everybody online that questions him at all.
Let him block. Fuck him. That just proves that, that he's in the wrong and we're right.
Yeah. That he's a fucking federal asset still. And it's all part of the fucking plan.
Yep. It's all part of the steps.
All right, guys, let's wrap this up. Like I said, if you want to help me out, get these words out, get these truths out, you can follow me at Savagely Loud on Instagram is where I'm most active. You can also follow me a bunch of other places that we'll get to. I don't know why I went that way, but I'm all Bongino'd up now. Like that guy, the mention of that guy's name just gets me fucking fired up. But at Savagely Loud on Instagram, that's where you can follow me. On that link, on that page, you're going to find 2 links. One of those links is to the Savagely Loud podcast page. Please follow me there too. I greatly appreciate it. The other link you're going to find is a simple link tree. Anyone you want to hear my bullshit, see my rants, you can find it there. Outside of that, Facebook, X, and Rumble at Savagely Loud, YouTube at Savagely Loud Podcast, and please don't forget to subscribe. I'm begging you guys, subscribe to the fucking channel. It's getting better and better. We're really starting to move into this now that we've got a pair of attackers here, me and Dave working together. We're really going to start working on getting this show put up into the big numbers. So please subscribe to the YouTube. Don't forget to like, comment, and share the material everywhere you see the material, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, X, Rumble, Instagram, doesn't matter. Don't forget to comment, share, like the stuff. And also, please rate and review the show on Spotify and iTunes. It really does help. Dave, let them know where they can find you.
All right, guys. You can find me over on social media at The Hammer Drops. I'm heavily active on Facebook and Instagram. And in the bio, you can find a couple links, one to the website, one to all the other crevices that I'm on all over the internet, including YouTube and TikTok. But like Cliff said, definitely like, share, follow, subscribe on all those platforms. And don't forget, when you're watching this video on YouTube, hit that subscribe button up on the top, hit that share button so these truths can get out.
Yeah, if you like it enough to watch it, you like it enough to hit the button. I mean, come on, let's be honest, people.
It's 3 seconds.
Right. It's less than that, and it doesn't actually it doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't hurt you. It doesn't make you stub your toe in the morning when you get out of bed. Just please hit the buttons, the follows, the likes, the subscribes. It really does mean a whole lot to us. Thank you guys for being here for us, listening to our shit, but we do need you to take part. All of that having been said, you know what time it is. Every fucking episode, we get all riled up, get all amped up, and we don't want to walk away feeling like that. So let's remind ourselves, let's take just a second to remind ourselves that humanity still does exist inside of humans with a little segment I like to call Hopelessly Human. It starts a little bit like...
People can be really rough. They can be quite tough. They can get in the way, but at the end of the day, some aren't only stupid, some are hopelessly human.
Hey, yes, they are, and this one is no different. This story comes to you from BuzzFeed.com. It's titled, "A Nurse That Went Above and Beyond." One time I had an ovarian cyst and I had to go to the hospital. I had no one to watch my 1-year-old son, so I had to bring him with me. I was crying really hard because I couldn't get my son to sit still with me, and he kept trying to pull on my tubes. I just broke down. My phone was dead, so I couldn't call anyone, but one of the nurses came up to me in my room and asked me if it was all right if she tried to calm my son down and give me a break. She brought some toys and a blanket back for him, and she held him in her arms, and she played with him so that he could calm down until my mother-in-law showed up. I didn't even get her name, but it was so meaningful that she would show enough compassion to help us. Angels are real. Guys, it's that little shit, man. It's that littlest shit. That fucking 5 minutes of peace that you can give a mother in a fucking time of need. It's the meal that you can give somebody that needs one. It's that littlest shit that really does add humanity back into this fucking world that we live in that is so fucked. I believe we can turn it around as long as we all start taking some lessons from the Hopelessly Human segment. So that's Hopelessly Human. That's the show. Later, guys.